Hi there, today I'm fighting with a little chihuahua and a baby. You may hear her in the background, but I thought it was really important for me to get this video out today, in which I share a little bit of why it is so important to have a clear employer branding strategy when we go through an acquisition of a different organization or through a merger. HR does go through a lot of struggle when they merge or when they acquire other organizations, the different HR systems and any solutions that need to be implemented and basically merged. Sometimes obviously a lot of information from one database has to be to the other, and there is an employee experience bit of it that is extremely important that have to be thought through, because basically the organization that acquires a smaller business, they have to onboard all the new employees in order to make sure they understand the new organizations that they're part with. And so there's a couple of things that we need to do from an employer branding standpoint. First and foremost is to have a clear internal communication strategy. Come up with an email plan, come up with a strategy on how are you going to communicate the changes with the existing employees from both sides of the organization. What is the changes that are going to happen? How is it going to impact them? And really break it down through teams and make the head of the different teams take responsibility on pushing that communication and ensuring that everything's under control and there's a clear strategy and a clear vision on what will happen next. The other aspect that's important is how are we going to do it on social media? What PR are we going to do? What are we going to tell the people outside of the organization? And that's one of the moments where employer branding has to work with marketing, with PR, with social media, and ensure that there's a clear communication plan, that the way that we're integrating the messaging outside of the organization is coherent with inside. So we want the employees to see there is transparency and there's no like more surprises coming. And collaborating with marketing in this instance is really, really important for sure. From a recruitment standpoint, include it in your communication. Make sure that you're telling your candidates that this has happened, that this is this is the current situation of the business. If there's been a blog post or a social media post from your CEO or a press release, send this to your candidates. And for those that are in final stages, take the time to pick up the phone and explain them how does this actually impact, if at all, your current position, your current situation, and your future hire, and make the most out of it. Really go big and go bold and talk about it so that it doesn't feel like there is no transparency there. Add it to your email communication. You can create on the ATS specific temporary templates that you would use only for a specific amount of time, and include the hyperlink to the blog about the merger or about the acquisition, in which you probably that has been drafted by HR and PR, by marketing and PR, and include it as part of the communication, and be really bold about it and share the news. When we merge and when we acquire new organizations, it is very important that we sit down and look at our manifesto and our vision as a business and ensure that nothing has changed there. If nothing has changed there, then we can tap into our LMS and create an onboarding module for the new people that are joining from the other business to introduce them to our manifesto and to our vision. We shouldn't be using the standard onboarding program, because we have to be sensitive with whatever we share and make it really tailored so that the new people that have been acquired or that are going through the acquisition of the company, they really feel that this is a tailored message and it doesn't feel like copy paste. So sit down, make new content, ensure that you communicate everything that this organization, the smaller business or whatever that you've acquired, whatever you think they need to know from a P&C side of things, processes, culture, manifesto, as I said, values, and all of that. It's very important that you do that. If you are revisiting your values and you're merging and there's bigger changes happening, once this is done, you may have to onboard and train and communicate it to the whole organization. So again, using your LMS to push a module to make sure everyone does that. Maybe your performance review is a good moment where you can make that, or if you have an annual survey, make that LMS module mandatory so people do that and they're familiar with the concept of the new mission and new vision and new values. And obviously you have to communicate that constantly on company-wide meetings, on emails, and on all sorts of other activities. Oh dear, thank you Ella's Kitchen for your lovely snacks that are keeping the baby entertained. So what do we need to do when it comes to merger and acquisitions of organization from an employer standpoint? Make sure internal communication is really strong and robust. Embrace the news in the talent strategy when you're recruiting, go bold. Speak to the marketing team and align with everything that's going on with PR and how this is communicated externally. Create a new onboarding program for whoever in the organization needs it. And just give people peace of mind, because this kind of changes do bring uncertainty, and people are probably expecting big news and hoping that their job is not affected. That's it for me. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope you all have a lovely rest of your week. Bye.